Welcome back, everybody. It's Stephen Young with Young Realty. So I want to talk to you this week about mentorship. I've been fortunate enough to have several mentors throughout my life. What I've realized they do for me is they get me on a fast track to success. They shorten the timeline from what I want to achieve to what I want to accomplish. I've always learned from a young age, about 26 years old, I met my first mentor, Mr. Bob Proctor, who is still my mentor to this day. I've had the fortunate pleasure of knowing him for this long period of time, but there's a direct correlation between the speed at which I was able to grow my business, the speed at which the success came, the speed at which the money started rolling in. It was all directly related to having a mentor. Mentorship is incredibly important. It's something I strive to get. I've always realized that a coach or a mentor or a teacher or someone who has my best interests at heart is the fastest way to grow any business. And you don't always have to have a mentor who you know in person. I have the fortunate luxury of knowing Bob in person. He lives in Toronto, just as do I. I met him at a conference when I was 26 years old. He was speaking about it was at a real estate conference, but he wasn't speaking about real estate, and really struck me that what he was talking about was really working on the internal aspect of yourself, your mindset. That really what stuck with me and why I wanted to pursue meeting Bob. And I had the fortunate pleasure of going to several of his events, and then we became friends, and he's my mentor, and I go to his house, and I see his studio. I see how behind the scenes he works and how he operates and how he's run his business to a huge monster organization around the world. That was sort of the earliest sign of what I realized what a mentor was without knowing what a mentor was. I've always had coaches through sports, and what coaches allow you, they see the good in you and they can always draw it out of you. They always see more potential for you than you probably do yourself. And that's sort of the main issue or the main reason why you should get a coach or a mentor. One, I always get a mentor to speed up the process of learning. Two, I get one to push me beyond where I think I'm capable of doing. Mentors and coaches are always fantastic doing that. My earliest coaching memories of being coached through hockey and then through football and sports in general, they've always stuck with me. And there's always a specific coach and a specific either saying or something that sticks with me that I want to share with you today. When I was in university, one of my coaches used to say, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes perfect is the expression that most people have become familiar with. Where my coach back then was saying that perfect practice is the only way to make perfect. You could be practicing the wrong thing. Let's say you're running a play and you practice it over and over and over again, but you're practicing it the wrong way. You will never perfect the play just because it's impossible to, because you're practicing it wrong. So if you want to become perfect at something, you have to practice perfectly as well, and the repetition is key. And as I grew up, that really stuck with me. It wasn't about just practicing. It wasn't just about the timing or the repetition. If you're going to do the repetition, it has to be done in a perfect manner. Otherwise, you'll fail where you need to go. When it came to sort of some of my next mentors, one of my coaches in professional football used to say all the time, ifs and buts and candies and nuts make for a good Christmas, but it doesn't make for good football. And what that meant is, ifs and buts and candies and nuts is an old expression. It's essentially saying, the excuses always make for a great time, right? Like, I wish I could get you this beautiful gift, however the market was bad, or I missed my sales quota, or whatever. And the idea is there, and the idea behind that expression is like, oh, well, thanks for the thought, but the excuse, I get it. Look, don't settle on ifs and buts and candies and nuts. That is not the point of it. You want to make sure you execute your plan. Don't make excuses for anything, especially don't make excuses for anything outside of your own control. And when it comes to real estate specifically and real estate sales, a lot of people make excuses about the market and about, if I just had the money, or if I just had more time. Look, those excuses will not get you to the life you want, so stop making them. So that's an incredible lesson I learned from that. From Bob, oh my God, the list, I can go on for hours of what he's taught me over the years, but one that always stands out is he says, just jump and grow wings on the way down, which effectively means you can, as long as the art of acting towards a goal is more important. Taking that first step is always more important than just thinking about it. You don't want to have analysis paralysis, another mentor used to tell me all the time. You don't want to overthink something. You want to just take action. That first step is a lot of time the hardest thing to do for most people. So what Bob used to always tell me is just jump, go for it, and figure it as your way, as you get towards the goal. Just figure it out as you move. One of my lawyers he still says it actually. He says, you want to fix the plane while it's in the air. That's kind of how I live my life. We always take off for our next destination, and if there's something wrong, we'll fix it on the way during the trip. And he always used to say, you're fixing the airplane while it's in the sky, and I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay to live that way and to go through life, and it's given me incredible results. My business is reflective of that. My success in real estate and real estate investing has been reflective of that. I always jump in full-heartedly. Look, it's not always worked out for me, but the times it has worked out or hasn't worked out has been few and far between. And the list goes on and on and on about mentorship and lessons I've learned, and I can speak for hours on this topic, but I think the main point I want to make today is get a good mentor, get a good coach, get a good teacher, get someone who's had experience in the field that you want. Get someone who's had those ups and downs, and they can say to steer you away from the bad downs and promote you into the good ups. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're learning from these people, and you search out and seek out mentors and coaches, because they will always be there for you. They'll always be in your corner, and they will speed up the process of success, and you will be the beneficiary of somebody else's decades-long teachings and decades-long experiences, and you can compress that timeline down very, very quickly with a mentor and a good coach. So that's my message to you, and I hope you follow that. I hope I become your mentor one day too. And if you want to follow us, go to followustomillions.com, and we'll be sure to continue the success with you.